What do you got, Coach? 3 things that all coaches need.
Who would you put on your Mount Rushmore of coaches?
New York or the Aces? Definitely going with the Aces.
All right, 4th down. Who has the tougher job, coaches or officials? If you could have any superpower, what would it be and why? For Texas, it's different. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is the Coaches Co-op, a masterclass in athletic leadership where coaches connect, grow, and share the grind. I'm your host, Michael Prejean, better known as Coach P. Each week, I get the pleasure of teaming up with coaches from across the country to break down the wins, the lessons, and everything in between. Today, I am joined by Derek Koonts, Assistant Athletic Director in Klein ISD. Coach Koonts oversees everything from intermediate campus athletics to cross-country, wrestling, track and field, facility operations, and even construction projects, all while staying focused on empowering coaches and student athletes through strategic leadership and a commitment to excellence. With your real hands and with your virtual hands, I want you to welcome Coach Derek Koonts to the Co-op. Coach, welcome to the Co-op. I'm glad you're here.
Good deal. Glad to have you.
Yeah. All right, Coach. So this is what we do here in the Co-op. The first segment is called Talk That Talk. So what I need you to do right here is I need you to talk about all of the good stuff that's happening right now in Klein ISD athletics. Ready, go.
So I'll hit you with the last 7 days. We had the district wrestling tournament, and we had 77 wrestlers qualify for the regional tournament. We had 3 most outstanding wrestlers in Klein ISD. We had 2 coaches of the year, Coach Rucker and Coach Hamilton were honored with that. And then we took 2 charter buses to Allen High School for the regional wrestling tournament this past Friday and Saturday. And we had 15 individuals qualify for the state tournament. So that is just a highlight, tip of the iceberg is what I like to call it, of what's happening in Klein ISD.
All right, I'm cleaning my glasses over here. Let me get back on the screen. That's good stuff. That's just the last 7 days. Last 7 days. So before we started recording, you told me, that, hey, no school, but incredibly busy right now. Mm-hmm. Well, that's wrestling.
That's right.
You're also over track and field, right? It. So you got wrestlers going to state. You got track and field getting ready to kick off. So yeah, you're definitely a busy man. Staying with Talk That Talk. So what's something positive going on right now in Klein ISD athletics that people on the outside might miss?
Man, so one of the things I'll hit on is through our Texas High School Coaches Association honoring our academic all-state. We've just had that's the drum we've kind of been beating, and recognizing our kids, not just for the success that they have on the court, on the field, or on the mats, but the success they're having in the classroom. And I think that's pretty powerful. Our coaches have really embraced us highlighting that, and it's kind of interesting, people emphasize what you emphasize, and we've been hitting it pretty hard, and you can tell our coaches have been talking about it, and our kids have been performing in the classroom. So that's just it's pretty powerful stuff to see kids that are not just athletes, but they're well-rounded individuals, and that's going to make them successful in life.
That's good stuff right there. And one thing I know is that the kids really, really appreciate being recognized for their hard work in the classroom, right? You got these huge high schools that all compete at the 6A level. So from an athletic standpoint, we know what it takes to be able to compete at a high level in the 6A classification. And on top of that, or really probably the foundation of that, is all of the academic success that's happening in the district. That's good stuff right there. Coach, here's what I need you to do right now. I need you to take us back to the beginning. Take us back to the beginning. How did you first get involved in athletics?
Man, that's a long and winding road.
Take us on the road trip.
But we'll get there, right? So I grew up, and I was the younger brother of a incredible athlete, and she was just really like a great role model for me, even just as an older sibling. Just watching her kind of set the tone and go out and be successful. She was a 4-sport athlete, varsity level, district MVP, most outstanding player. I mean, the list goes on. And then I came along, and I was not very good at a whole lot of things, but I had a deep desire to compete. And my avenue was running, which that I still wasn't very good at. They used to say I couldn't run out of sight in a week if you spotted me 3 days, but I just kept working hard and kept grinding, and had an opportunity to go compete in college. And I look back, and like those coaches I had in high school, those coaches I had in college that believed in me, I look back on where I was at that point in my life, and I can honestly say that they saved my life. And I'm here today, and having the opportunity to take what was poured into me, what was sown into me as a young man, and try to replicate that and sow that into coaches, to sow that into their athletes, is why I do what I do. But I started out as a graduate assistant, making $0, and just doing it truly for the love of the sport. And then I got my big break coaching at the college level, coaching track and cross country at TCU. And that was an amazing experience. Lots of great people. Fort Worth was a great town. But then life happens, and start dating a young lady from Houston, and wasn't going to ask her to move. So I just killed that dream, and moved to Houston, Texas, and got my first job at Klein High School, and had a great time there, great experience with that community, had lots of success, and still have relationships with those kids 25 years later. They'll call me, or they'll come to a couple years ago when my youngest one graduated. They were at her district track meet, and they couldn't believe that was the baby, and she was out there competing. So I was at Klein Forest, and then kind of was on my path, and then somebody came along and said the grass is greener on the other side. You need to get out, and you need to sell insurance and make bukus of money. So I said, okay, that sounds good. And quickly realized that the money potential was there, but that wasn't my passion. And did that for about a year and a half, and it was good. It paid the bills, had some success, but it didn't get me up with the passion that teaching and coaching did. So I got back into education. The phone rang. There was a job in Hightower with some friends, and worked there, taught math and coached track. And then job opened back up at Klein Forest. Came back to Klein Forest, which was kind of home, and loved that community, but came back as an assistant coach and wanted to be a head coach again. And then a job opened at Klein High School. My oldest daughter was a sophomore at that time, so got to coach her and work with her. So that was just an absolute blessing. And then really just felt called and compelled that there was more, a greater stage of impact and influence. Leadership isn't about titles. Leadership isn't about me telling somebody what to do. It's about influence and impact in lives. So at that point, I got out of teaching and coaching, became an administrator at Klein Oak, and absolutely loved it. It was coaching in the hallways between class with about 600 freshman boys that I was in charge of. And then an opportunity came open in the athletic department here in Klein ISD, and jumped on it, and then have been here ever since. And really, I look back over my life. There's been two dream jobs, and one was to coach in college, and one is to be an AD. And I've been blessed to do both of those. And I just firmly know that this is what God has put me on this earth to do, is sit in this chair and impact coaches that can impact kids and change and save lives and change families that aren't yet existing. Coach, you're muted.
Yeah, of course I'm on mute. So did you grow up in the Houston area?
So, man, I was born and raised in Ohio. So I'm a Browns fan.
I knew that.
Right? And that's a hard knock life. I'm an Ohio State Buckeye fan. Right?
Yeah,
my oldest daughter graduated there, played volleyball, all those good things. But Dad got job transfer, and it was either Waukesha, Wisconsin, or Nacogdoches, Texas. And we took a vote, family vote. It's 4-0. We're going to Nacogdoches. And we all thought, like, we're going to go there for a period of time and move back. And Coach, that was, man, at this point, that's 40 years ago.
Wow.
Right. So I look back and, like, you know, God orders your steps. And, like, I moved to Nacogdoches thinking I was going to see longhorns and all those crazy things. And you got pine trees. And I truly thought we were lost. But I look back and, like, that has just set the table for everything that I've been able to do in life.
So I want to ask. So Coach Vasquez, great athlete,
unbelievable.
Oh, that's good to know.
I was always known as Deidre's little brother.
As Deidre's little brother,
right?
So, did you find running, or did running find you?
Man, Coach, I don't think any other sport wanted me. Right? So I couldn't put the ball in the hoop. Football, you know, sit on the end of the bench. I played get back, tried to get on the field. Coach told me to get back. But I loved them. I did. And I saw how good they are and the lessons that are taught through there. And running just became my outlet. Right. I going through difficult times in life, like running was my solitude, and probably ran a whole lot more than I should have, but it was just a place to clear my mind and didn't have to face whatever I was dealing with that day, and could just go out and knock it out.
Okay. So distance running teaches patience, discipline, and suffering in silence.
Mm-hmm.
So how much of your leadership philosophy comes from being a runner?
Man, Coach, that's good. So I look back, like, you just know the pain that you go through, right? A hot day, a hot race, the pace picks up, and it's you in a stopwatch, and you're going to give up because everybody can see it. I used to say, you know, my grandma knows if I'm running well or not, and she doesn't know anything about track. But there's no hiding out there on the track. Stopwatch doesn't lie. I can't say coach didn't put me in. Can't say they didn't pass me the ball. Can't say any of that stuff. There's no hiding. So just that personal accountability, that it's you against you every day. And embracing the hard, right? Life is hard. Racing is hard. Going out, getting up at 6 a.m. in the middle of the summer when you'd rather sleep in, that's hard. Going out and getting a double, and the second run starts at 3 o'clock and it's 100 degrees, that's hard. But all of that, I truly believe it's calloused me to hard times, and hard times build tough people and resiliency. And if you're looking for easy's not going to happen while we're here, you know, working every day, dealing with people, and and trying to impact things. You want easy, go retire. I was telling my oldest daughter this the other day. We're just talking about life in general, right? And life is hard, and that goes to, being fit is hard. Being overweight is hard as well, right? Which hard do you want, right? Being financially disciplined is difficult. Being in debt is difficult. Being married, there's difficulties in marriage, right? Getting divorced, that's difficult too. Which hard do you want to do? And you embrace it, and then you just face it head on. And it's me against myself. And you know what? I'm going to beat whoever I was yesterday, or I'm going to beat the stopwatch yesterday. I'm going to find a way to win, no matter what anybody says, no matter what anybody believes. One coach at a high school recruited me. If they gave negative stars, I would have been a negative star, right? Like I wouldn't even a zero, right? They used to sing songs about me, how bad I was my freshman year. And that's just fuel for the fire, right? And you just take all those things and you internalize it. And I'm going to show up every day and just get better, and just embracing the hard. And that's just calloused me over the years, Coach. In a good way.
Good.
In a good way, right?
Yeah.
Like I deal with an adverse situation. It's okay. We're going to find. I would say this. There's no problem we can't solve, right? Might take a little time, might take some creativity, but we can find a solution.
That's good. That's good. If you are just tapping in with us, we are in the Coaches Co-op. I'm Coach P, and tonight's guest is living his dream. He is sitting in one of his dream chairs. We have Assistant Athletic Director in Klein ISD, Derek Koonts. So you're talking about embracing the hard. So I want to ask this question. So your transition from coaching to admin,
Mm-hmm.
what was harder than you expected in that transition? And then the second part of that question is, what surprised you in a good way? So what was harder than you expected it to be? And then what was a good surprise?
Okay. So the hardest thing was finding my voice and realizing I can't be person A, I can't be person B, I can't be the person that used to sit in this chair. I got to be myself. And that was so difficult, because I look back, that probably took me 2 or 3 years to really find my voice and be comfortable who I was, and just own that and embrace it. And I've got my faults. I know I do. I know what they are, right? But I also know I deeply care about people, and I deeply care about our coaches, and I deeply care about our student athletes and want them to be successful. And our coaches know, like, you call Koonts, he's going to answer the phone. He's going to do everything he can to help you. But it took me a long time to get comfortable in the role and just realize, like, all I can be is me, right? And at the end of the day, that is enough, right? I was hired for this spot. I worked diligently to get better, and to get better not just day to day, but year to year, right? I look back, I always do a self-reflection. Hey, what are my weaknesses? So I did that over Christmas. There were 2 things that I wanted to address, one professional and one kind of personal. And I've addressed both of those, and just trying to get better. But finding the voice was the most difficult. The easiest thing was I still got to see all my friends and my fellow coaches, and it was just in a different capacity. But I still got to have those relationships with the people that I loved and I cared about. It was just in a different setting, different format. But I mean, Coach, that's the best part of what I get to do. I get to see, I'll call them my coaches, and hang out with them and go to events and watch them do what they do. Right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. That's good stuff there. That's good stuff. So I'm hoping that there's a coach watching, a young coach a new coach who maybe may not be as young, but a coach who maybe wants to one day get the opportunity to live out their dream and be an athletic administrator one day. So that was great advice. Well, just great vulnerability, I think, when you talked about having to find your voice, right? Couldn't be that guy. I had to find my own voice. That's really, really good stuff right there. So what is, so you told us about the last 7 days, right? All of the good stuff. So with everything that you oversee, right? Intermediate sports, transportation, facilities, cross country, track and field, wrestling, some of the construction projects. What's a real week look like? So for somebody who thinks maybe, you know what, I think I want to be in athletic administration and an athletic admin one day. What's 7 days really look like? And I want to point out to people that we're recording right now. It's after 7 p.m. Okay. Klein ISD, where Coach Koonts works, did not have school today. Coach, are you still sitting in your office?
I'm here, my man.
He's still sitting in his office. All right. I just want to point that out. So
what time did I get here?
What time did you get there, Coach?
6:15.
6:15 a.m. Not p.m., guys.
Yes, sir.
It is right now 7:22 p.m. So that's a long day. So a string of days that look like today. What's really happening on your calendar? That's
it. That's a good question. So I'll pull up my calendar today. We met as an athletic department and reviewed our plans for the next week, next month. Worked through those. We met with our athletic trainers, which we meet with quarterly, and we talked about the upcoming items coming up. We got physicals coming up. We talked about coverage. We talked about all those things. Those boxes right there, that is what was 15,000 physicals. We gave the high schools half. Those are the other half for the intermediate. So I had to get those ordered, get them printed, get them updated. And then it's calls from coaches with ice machines that are out. It's calls from coaches with rank 1 issues, getting their schedules in. It's calls from my construction guys working through the projects. The best way I can describe it is I call it grinding gears, because I could be completely locked in on we just finished intermediate basketball issue. And then we're working on it. I'm in that mindset. And then boom, the next email or phone call happens. And it's, hey, I got an official from soccer. Middle soccer is going on right now. I haven't been paid. I don't know how to set up my account. And you got to quickly pivot, go to the official. Then the next call happens. Hey, I got a construction question. We got a meeting coming up and we got a deadline and we got to get these items ordered. What do you think about 1, 2, or 3? Or we've got the construction project going on right now at Klein Memorial and working through those issues and concerns. So it's just constantly just popping from one item to the other to the next. The other thing I'm in charge of is I'm the co-chair of the Klein ISD School Health Advisory Council. So from about 5 to about 6:30 before we got on, I sat and updated my SHAC documents, items for next year, updating the calendar, getting stuff ready for a meeting coming up on March 3rd, because I got to get the agenda finalized and get it posted 3 business days, 72 hours in advance of the meeting. So it's got to be tight. Everything's got to be confirmed. Speakers got to be confirmed and get it updated. So that's today. And then tomorrow it's like a box of chocolates. I've got some meetings scheduled, and then it's just calling people when I need something, or coaches calling, Coach, I got to have this. Hey, all right, what do you need? I got a call Friday when I was out of town at the regional wrestling tournament. Coach, I got a question about a renter. How can we problem solve this issue? And just walk the coach through it. And he's like, Coach, that's a pretty good option. Okay, well, follow up with them and let me know what you think. And it's just that lens of, I'm here to serve, right? My title doesn't matter. Nobody cares. It's about serving people. And I serve coaches. so coaches can serve kids. That's what it comes down to. You're muted, coach.
Does it ever pause? See, this is why this is why we record.
I understand, my
It's a
man.
good thing we didn't go live tonight.
Yes.
So does it ever pause?
It doesn't. It does not.
Okay.
But I'll say this, like most everybody's got my cell phone number. And they're pretty respectful. Like if it's 7:30 tonight, right? Like there's not much going on. There's probably not going to be a phone call unless it's, oh gosh, it's an emergency.
It's an emergency.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just know, like, if somebody's calling, they've kind of exhausted all of their resources and they're coming to me. So I got to be the lifeline that can help them. Right. But no, it never stops. So we had got back from Allen, Texas about 7:30 Saturday night and unpacked my stuff. And then Sunday after church, go home and just start organizing my thoughts, cleaning up documents, getting the trip wrapped up, getting emails ready to go out to the coaches at 6 a.m. the next morning. This is what needs to be done, and just getting everything organized for the upcoming week. And that wasn't a ton of time, but that was probably 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
Right. But it sets the table for Monday morning so I can come in with a clear focus. But I'll also say this, the Shaq stuff, that was on my agenda to do at 6:15 this morning. And I didn't do it until I had some downtime before we started meeting, because that's how busy today was. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like you said, I like how you said, listen, I got to set the table. I got to set the table. And right before that, you said, listen, I serve coaches so coaches can serve kids.
That's right.
So I set the table to serve the coaches.
Let's go.
So the coaches can serve kids. All right, let me throw some things at you. Let me throw some things at you. What's one leadership decision you made that people didn't understand at that time, but you would make that decision again today?
Oh, wow. Man, coach, leadership decision. Wow.
Yeah, because somebody's going to watch this, somebody's going to listen to this, and they're going to be fed by this conversation. This is why we have these conversations. We're bridging the gap right here. These are the conversations that not everybody who's in the profession has the opportunity to hear.
Right.
But we want to, any way, shape, form, or fashion, just kind of bridge that gap just a little bit. One decision, you made it. People didn't really understand it, but if you had to make that decision again today, you would.
Man, oh man. So here's the thing: I make a lot of decisions every day. One of the things that I've learned to do is I have to flush the toilet. Right. So I make a decision. There are feelings about that decision, right, wrong, or indifferent. Right. So I think back to just last week, right? Like we had an issue with our intermediate track schedule, and I felt like one option was better when we had to make an adjustment. And it was kind of split 50-50. But this was, in my opinion, the right way to go. That's the way it went. But I did kind of guide the room on that. And some of them had some feelings, about half of them, right? But when you look at the big picture, like that's what needed to happen, right? Like this one concern, yes, I hear your concern, and it's important to hear people, right? Like you can't make a decision and just steamroll people, right? We're in the people business. I say that all the time. People over process, right?
Yeah.
Process is important. A plan's important, but we're in the people business. So, but those decisions, like they can weigh on you, coach, right? Like I make a decision and coach ABC, I know he's got some feelings about it, and coach DEF, she's got some feelings about it, but I literally flush the toilet and I go to the next day or I go home and it's done. Right. And I tell people this all the time, and they don't believe me until they talk to my wife. I don't talk about work. And invariably somebody will ask her a question about something that I know. And she's like,
She
I don't
has
know what
no
you're talking
idea.
about.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. There's nothing I can do at home in a conversation that's going to help that situation. If I truly feel it's an issue, I got to talk to that person. Right.
Yeah.
So that's where I say flushing the toilet. Like I don't have the mental capacity to keep regurgitating all this stuff. I just got to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's serving people, right? Whether you like it or not, like I'm making the best decision for the group. Right. And that's what that came down to last week. Like the best decision for the group. Hey, Friday's not an option. Thursday's this. We got to have a weather day. We got to go here. Right. Y'all want to go back. We got to move it earlier.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's good. So this question, I think it just fits perfectly here. It's really for later in the conversation, but I think it fits perfect right here. What's the hardest part of being an athletic director that coaches rarely get to see?
Man, it's just it's time. It's prioritizing time.
Mm-hmm.
And prioritizing people and situations, right? So I get, I don't know, I probably had 100 emails today, right? I didn't get to all of them. And they're all important. And they're all important to that person, right? But just, there's only so many hours in a day, and you gotta prioritize, hey, I gotta hit this today. This one tomorrow, I've already got a meeting scheduled with their supervisor. I can touch base with them and they can follow up. One thing, being self-reflective in this, probably one thing, if I don't get to an email, just a simple response, hey, received your email, get back with you. Today's been busy, get back with you soon. Right. But I catalog a lot of those emails. I know where they are. I know what their question is. It's cataloged. It's ready for tomorrow because I've set the table for tomorrow already. And that's one of the reasons I get here early, because I know what I got on my plate. I get here at 6:15, and nobody else shows up till about 8:00. So I got an hour and a half to get things prepped up, ready to go, organized for the day. Because once people get here, you got to take care of people.
Yeah.
Right.
That's good. That's good. So if a young coach asks you, Coach Koonts, how do I survive my first 5 years in this profession? And you're moving from one place to the next. You really don't have time to stop and talk, but you really want to answer that question. You got about 1 minute to answer that question. Coach Koonts, how do I survive my first 5 years? What do you tell them in 60 seconds or less?
One day at a time, right? 6 weeks at a time, one semester at a time. And it is literally about survive, take something, learn, and apply it, right? Master that one thing that you're struggling with, and then apply it. Or, find a mentor, right? Like what I've started doing, you say in the first 3 years, my oldest daughter, she's coaching in the district now. It hit me. Like, I don't talk about work, so she doesn't ask me questions. And the dad in me, like that breaks my heart that she doesn't ask me questions, but she just knows I don't talk about it. So I've scheduled a weekly Wednesday meeting with her to work through these things, right? And sometimes it's just about getting to year 5. Because if you can survive, you've built enough requisite skills to be successful, you're going to be all right. But getting to year 5, that's a challenge in itself. But it starts with one day at a time, right? And they may be ugly, and it may look bad, and people may make fun of your lesson plans, and you may not win a game, right? Like there's going to be some bumps and bruises and scrapes in there, but you got to flush the toilet and just know, like, hey, this is bigger than me. This is about taking care of these kids, serving these kids, and impacting lives, right?
That's good. That's good. And because I've lived that life, it sounds very cliche,
Mm-hmm.
but there are going to be times where you are in survival mode. And it is literally one day at a time.
It is
1 week at a time, one progress report period at a time.
That's it.
One grading period at a time. That is good stuff, Coach. Let me play my commercial here. We'll be right back. We'll get back to the conversation in a second, but here at the Coaches Co-op, we're all about building championship level systems on and off the court. This episode is brought to you by The Path for Coaches, because iron sharpens iron and real growth happens when coaches support coaches. If you're looking to level up your team culture, fine-tune your playbook, or just stay motivated through the grind, check out The Path for Coaches. You can find The Path for Coaches at Amazon.com, or you can send me a direct message on IG at podcast_with_Prejean. Unlock the power of mentoring. Discover ways to be a good mentor and find good mentors with The Path for Coaches, Volume 1, Mentoring. All right, we are in the Coaches Co-op with Klein ISD Assistant Athletic Director Derek Koonts. This is the Coaches Co-op, the go-to podcast for coaches looking to elevate their leadership, culture building, and team success. All right, so you've lived this sport from just about every angle. You've been a collegiate runner. Your wife was a runner too, correct?
She was. And that's she's
Okay.
faster than me, so she caught me. Is the story I like to tell.
So collegiate runner, husband to a runner that tracked him down,
Mm-hmm.
father,
Mm-hmm.
all right, to two collegiate athletes.
Mm-hmm.
One is now a head coach. So
Yes, sir.
what has being a sports dad taught you that coaching never could?
I'm gonna blow your mind.
I'm ready. We're ready for it.
Just be dad, be mom,
Yeah.
enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
So I called it when I would go watch them, I just had to unplug, right? I'd go sit by myself and just enjoy being dad, right? Because at some point, that stuff's over, right?
Yeah.
So trying to coach from the stands, trying to do this, and this, like, just enjoy it. So when I came to Klein High, Jazzy was what was she there? Sophomore or junior? Sophomore, junior year. That's where I had her. And I could have put my foot in her back more. But what I know is, like, they also have to love it, right? And she enjoyed track, but volleyball was her thing, right? I knew that. But I also knew I'm going to be dad a whole lot longer than I'm going to be coach. And it is not worth ruining that relationship for this, or this, right? And then the youngest one, when she graduated Klein High, her coach resigned. Her event coach resigned like December. So she didn't have an event coach her whole spring of her senior year. So you talk about a crucial season. And people are like, yeah, we know you coached her. Nope, did not. The only thing I did, we would sit down and we would talk about race strategy, race philosophy, and tactics, right? And that was it. We did it. We had one blow up on like a Monday night, because there was just a lot of angst there. But she got that conversation. Like, I'm gonna be dad more than I could ever be coach, and just sit back and enjoy it, because someday the practices will stop. That's all going to end, and they've got a coach for a reason. And as a parent, my job is to support the coach, whether I agree or disagree. I'm gonna support the coach, and my kids need to advocate for themselves. So I firmly believe, like, that's why I've got two really strong women that we've raised, right? And they got a great mom.
Yeah, that is so I'll say this. Number one, completely agree. So when my oldest son was in 7th grade, I learned to just enjoy. Just sit back and enjoy. Because I said something one day, and then I heard him repeat it. And I was like, oh, no. That is no good. So from that point, and I was a coach at the time, so from that point, I was like, no, I'm going to games and I'm going to sit and cheer. And then my youngest son, when he was a senior in high school, he played at Klein Oak, and he was about number 12, right? So he didn't get a whole lot of burn. And whenever I got the opportunity to catch games, if it was a tournament or something like that, he would always ask, Dad, why do you come to the games? And I'm like, man, I come to cheer for your team and your friends, right? Those kids have been to the house. I know them. So I'm just coming to cheer. And the last thing is that the parenting reps, don't miss out on those parenting reps when you're trying to be the coach when they have a coach, right? Because like you said, Coach, that the running's going to stop, the practice is going to stop, the ball's going to stop bouncing, and you got to be dad again. You got to be mom again. That's right. And it's super, super important that you don't miss out on those reps. Coach, that's good stuff right there. That's good stuff. Okay, let me ask this.
Easier said than done.
much easier said than
like
done.
It's a daily decision.
Much easier said than done.
That's right.
But in the end, you said it. You said, I got two strong young women, right? At the end of the day,
that's it.
That's the result that we want.
That's it.
Right. And it's not always, it's not always easy. It's not always easy. So, Coach, who's got the harder job? Athletic administrators, coaches, or officials?
Man, so that's a loaded question.
Three hard jobs.
3 hard jobs.
Right? And I've gotten every answer. I've gotten every answer. I've gotten admin, I've gotten coaches, I've gotten officials. What say you?
So I would say it's probably the coach, because they're between everybody, right? They got to take care of the officials. They got to take care of the admin. They got to take care of the kids. They got to take care of the parents. Like, the most important people we have are high quality coaches. If you got coaches out there that are taking care of their business, like the admin, it's just like a school building. You got great teachers, right? Like, you don't see the admin getting in classrooms because they got behavior issues. The teacher's handling it, right? A great coach fixes a lot of those things. So I would say that, just because they're kind of that fulcrum between everything: parents, athletes, officials, admin. And I don't know that everybody in that group necessarily will stop and look at it from other lenses, right? So that's what I try to do where I sit, right? Like, okay, as the coach, how's the coach looking at this? As the official, right? What's the kid thinking? What's the parent? And trying to look at it from different vantage points, right? But that coach is the fulcrum of all of that.
That's good. That's good. It's definitely not an easy job. All right, Coach, I got one more question. Then I'm going to ask you to play a game with me.
Okay.
Every guest has to play this game, but here's the question. If you were not involved in athletics, and you can't say insurance, but if you weren't involved in athletics, what would you be doing?
I would be in, I'd have a yard service, do lawns, do landscaping. So at some point, we're out of school this week, right? There should be a day in here where I can leave a little early, and that's on my to-do list. I just love putting your hands in the dirt, reworking rock or mulch, and just stepping back and looking at it and go, man, that's beautiful, right?
Yeah.
And it's just kind of, I don't have many hobbies, but like that is a place of solitude for me. And I just go out and work in the yard and love it. So in my mind, I got my plan for Thursday. Here's what I'm going to do. I've set the table, right? Like I know I'm ready to go. And my wife is going to show up and she's going to go, what are you doing? So it's always entertaining to get her reaction too.
That's good. That's good. I know the feeling, but I'm gonna say this. You are a good man, Derek Koonts. Because early on, as a early young homeowner, I loved getting out there.
Mm-hmm.
Made sure my kids knew how to weed eat and edge.
Come on.
And pull weeds and get the corner with that mower, did all of that stuff so that when they have a home of their own one day,
that's right,
they know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But the first opportunity I got to let somebody else do it, I gave it up. I gave it up. All right, coach, play this game with me. This is a rapid fire type game.
Okay.
We're going to go 3 rounds. The first round is either or. The second round is agree, disagree. And the last round is word association. Okay. So we're gonna let me give it a name. All right, going the distance with Derek. Here we go.
Let's go.
Round 1. Here it is.
Ding, ding.
Either or. Early morning miles or late night emails.
Early morning miles.
Okay. Track meet energy or packed volleyball gym.
Woo. What part of the track meet? There's one answer.
4x4. It's the 4x4.
Let's go. It's the track.
Okay, it's the
Let's
4x4.
go.
All right. Long distance grind or short sprint urgency.
Man. It's the grind.
Okay.
It is.
Okay. Now
life's a marathon.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely not a sprint. So you kind of alluded to this one, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Coaching your own kids or watching from the stands?
Man, watching.
Yeah. Stopwatch or calendar?
Stopwatch. Sense of urgency.
Okay. So lead from the front or lead quietly behind the scenes?
Ooh. Either or. Can I go depends? Depends on the situation.
Okay. Definitely.
Right.
Some things are situational. All right. Last either or question. Family dinner or facility walkthrough?
Family dinner.
All right.
I don't get many of those.
Yeah. Agree, disagree.
Okay.
Agree, disagree. Runners make better leaders.
Well, I got to agree with that. Come on.
Being a sports parent is harder than being a coach.
Woo. Disagree.
Okay. Bringing the heat right there. Bringing the heat. Perspective matters more than talent.
Agree.
Tough love builds tougher athletes.
Agree.
Athletic families see the game differently.
Ooh. Disagree.
Okay.
That's another one that could be situational, right?
Situational. Situational.
Yeah.
Okay. Every setback carries a lesson.
Agree. Setup is a setup. A setback is a setup for a comeback.
Let's
All right.
Go. You don't build culture, you live it. Agree or disagree?
I would agree.
Okay. All right. This is word association. I'm going to give you a word. Give me the first thing that comes to mind. Running.
Discipline.
Daughter.
Love.
Competition.
Life.
Trust.
Man. Relationships.
Perspective.
Reality.
Pressure.
Diamonds.
Legacy.
Life.
All right. That was it. Good stuff right there. Coach, I appreciate you playing that little rapid fire type game with me. All right, Coach. It's the last 5 minutes of the episode. We call this crunch time. Crunch time works like this. We go 3, 2, 1. 3 is for 3 in the key. 3 things that all athletic professionals need. 2 shots, 2 of the tougher challenges or foul things that you've experienced in your current role. And then we will wrap it all up with and 1. And that's 1 thing that you want to share before we get out of here. So, Coach, we're going to start with 3 in the key. What do you have for those who are watching and or listening for 3 in the key?
So those 3 things that you got to have people you trust. And, these 3 things can apply to everything, but you got to have people you trust, that you have honest conversations with, and you trust them so you can be vulnerable to ask those questions, those tough questions, to get honest conversations, to get honest feedback, so you can look yourself in the mirror and be real with yourself and reflect and make those tough decisions and not taking it personal and get better. And the third thing is a positive outlook. And that's just it's building like a mind moat and not letting everything in that you see on social media or the TV or people's conversations or, hey, look at this video, but me controlling what I let in, whether it's through my eyes or my ears. And what you take in through your eyes and your ears is what's going to come out of your mouth. So that's why you got to be diligent to guard those gates into your mind. So the 3 things would be people you trust, having honest conversations, and a positive outlook.
Good stuff right there. That was 3 in the key from Coach Koonts. All right, Coach, this brings us to 2 shots. So share with us 2 of the toughest challenges or foulest things that you've experienced in your current role. We call this 2 shots.
Lack of time. It's busy, and every day's busy. Today's been busy. Did I spend enough time growing people and helping them get better? And it's trying to navigate that. Secondly, lack of perspective. And you hit on this. Whether it's a young coach that's just starting and they feel like they ought to be a head coach, or it's the kid that thinks they ought to be starting and they don't show up to practice. It's that lack of perspective that creates issues down the road. Another thing on lack of time is we're all in a hurry to get to the end goal, and we don't want to take time to go through the gears. And sometimes if you get the 5th gear too fast, it can be a little rough ride. So you got to take time going through the gears of life, and you got to find some mentors, and maybe you got to do some shadowing, or maybe I'm a young head coach. Maybe I need to go follow a seasoned head coach in a different sport, right? Like the content's different, but leadership is leadership. There's a lot of carryover from head coaching to head coaching. How do you run your booster club? How do you run your team meetings? All of those things.
That's good. So this question is for me, right? Hopefully, maybe it'll benefit somebody else. But as the host of the podcast, I get to get all of this great information. So this question right here is for Michael Prejean. How do we teach perspective? So before we get to and 1, how do we teach perspective? Is perspective something that we can teach? Is it a process? Is it something that if we've only got a kid for a year, it's really hard to teach unless that kid is has a high emotional IQ? Or is it something that over the course of 4 years, 3 years, however long a kid is in a program, we have the good fortune of being able to teach perspective? So how do we teach it?
So those 2, let's put them together, right? Perspective is built over time. So when you have a lack of time, you're going to have a lack of perspective. So as the coach, as the leader, there's things I can do that will help that, right? But there's things that are spoken today that'll be planted as a seed, but won't reap a harvest until 2, 3, 5, 10 years down the road, right?
Yeah.
So I think with that piece, Coach, it's helping build perspective, but understanding that they're not going to get it all as fast as you want them to, right?
Yeah. That's good. That's good stuff right there. All right, Coach. This brings us to the very last part of the episode. We call this and one. This is the good stuff right here. One thing you'd like to share, one final message that you want to give to the coaching community that will plug in to this episode. So what do you have for and one?
So this is really anticlimactic, but it is embrace the hard. We all want the promotion. We all want the position. We all want the title. But I say this all the time as well. Like, I'd rather be a little behind where God wants me to be than be ahead. I'd rather spend too much time in first, second, and third gear so that I'm ready for fourth gear. And looking at those challenges and those difficult conversations and those adversities that happen in life, like, I believe it's the Marines have a saying, it's called full benefit, right? So when something happens and it's really difficult, I'm going to get the full benefit of the situation, and I'm going to develop a lot of skills that will help me navigate future problems. So just enjoying the journey. I know that sounds cliche, but just enjoy the journey. Enjoy the hard days. Take things from those conversations and let your defense down. Hear people, and let's see if we can't work through it. And from that, like, that is where growth happens. I look back on my journey, and you've been calling me assistant AD, but I'm about to throw you a curveball, my man. I've recently been promoted, right? So there's been, there you go. I wasn't going to get you until the end. Little clap, right? But there's been a journey, right? And there's been interviews that I've gone on, and I walk out and I think, man, that was terrible, right? And I don't begrudge the district because I didn't get a call back for the second interview. It's like, man, that wasn't good. So let's write those questions down. Let's go through those questions. Let's call some mentors. Hey, they ask you this question. How are you answering this? Well, Coach, here's what you're missing, right? But there's a lot of interviews, a lot of phone calls, a lot of non-second interviews. There's a lot of applications that go out that don't get phone calls, right? Like, just, okay, God's got me, right? He's going to have me where he needs me to be. And I firmly believe this is it. And just keep grinding, enjoy the hard. And then once you get done with that hard, guess what? I got the next hard.
New hard. It's a new hard. Yeah,
right?
That's right.
Like, what's in the next door? Okay, it's a bigger challenge, but you know what? I'm better prepared for those challenges because of what I've already went through, right?
Full benefit.
I believe that's the Marines. You may have to Google search that or something, but I love that.
Listen, no, that's good stuff right there. Listen, thank you for joining us today on the Coaches Co-op. Big thanks to today's guest, Athletic Director.
Let's go.
Derek Koonts, for sharing his journey and his road trip and his wisdom. If you are walking away with new insight or energy for your team or your program, we did our job. If you enjoyed this conversation, I need you to hit that like button, follow, subscribe to the channel for more insights from top athletic professionals like Athletic Director Derek Koonts. Leave us a 5-star review if you're listening on iTunes. Your ratings and reviews help other coaches find us. Share the show with a coach who needs to hear this wisdom. Help us grow the Coaches Co-op community, where coaches do what most people can't. And I always say this: if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Coach Koonts, I'm going to get us out of here, but I'm going to ask that you hang back with us just for a second. I'm Coach P for Coach Koonts. Until next time, y'all get this wisdom in the co-op.